Ben's life had always been simple. He woke up early every day, worked the fields, tended to the animals, and lived with his wife Jenny and their 2 children, Lily and Sam. Riverfield was a small, peaceful village, and Ben loved it. He loved the quiet, the fresh air, and the work that kept his hands busy. But there was something Ben had always wished for: a chance to learn. He could never read or write, and sometimes it made him feel left out. Jenny did all the reading in the house, whether it was a letter or a story for the children. She always read things aloud to Ben, and although he loved listening to her, he often wished he could understand things on his own. One afternoon, as Ben was busy in the field, he saw the postman walking toward the house. The postman was an older man with a gentle face, someone Ben had known for years. "Is your name Ben?" the postman asked. Ben wiped the sweat from his brow. "Yes, that's me," he said, walking toward the man. The postman handed Ben a letter. "This is for you," he said, his voice warm. Ben took the envelope, looking at it carefully. It had his name written neatly on the front, but he didn't recognize the handwriting. When Ben went inside, Jenny was busy with the children. She looked up and smiled when she saw the letter. She sat down to open it and began reading aloud to Ben. It was from Anna, his sister. Ben hadn't heard from Anna in a long time. She had moved to the city years ago, chasing her dreams of a better life. In the letter, Anna told Ben that she had been working at a restaurant and had saved up enough money to send some to help with the farm. She also invited Ben to come visit her in the city, a place he had never seen. Ben listened carefully, feeling a wave of emotions. He was happy to hear from Anna, but he didn't know what to think about going to the city. He had never left Riverfield before. The idea of traveling to a big city, filled with so many people and buildings, was both exciting and a little scary. He looked at Jenny. "Maybe I should go," he said slowly, unsure but curious. Jenny smiled and nodded. "You should go," she said. "This might be good for you." For the next few days, Ben thought about the letter. He couldn't stop wondering what life in the city was like. He'd always lived a simple life on the farm, and the idea of leaving his home felt strange. Jenny noticed that Ben was quiet, lost in thought. "What are you thinking?" she asked, sitting next to him. Ben looked at her and sighed. "I'm not sure about going to the city. I've never been anywhere like that. It's big, and I don't know what I'll do there." Jenny took his hand. "But you won't know until you try. Anna is waiting for you, and maybe there's more to learn. Besides, we'll manage here while you're gone." Ben nodded slowly, feeling the weight of the decision. He wanted to see Anna again, but the city felt so different. It was exciting, but also overwhelming. After much thought, he made up his mind. he would go. That night, Jenny helped Ben pack his bag. She carefully folded his clothes and added some money for the journey. She packed a small basket of food, making sure Ben would have enough for the trip. "Be careful," she said, looking at him with a mixture of worry and hope. "But I know you'll be fine." The next morning, Ben kissed Jenny and the children goodbye. He set off on foot, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. The bus station was about an hour's walk from the farm, and Ben's heart raced as he walked, knowing that soon he would be on his way to the city. Ben had never been on a bus before, and as he sat in his seat, he felt a little nervous. He had never traveled far from Riverfield, and the thought of going so far away made him uneasy. As the bus moved through the countryside, Ben looked out the window, amazed at the changing landscape. The wide fields slowly gave way to smaller villages, and then the roads began to get busier as the city drew closer. Ben could hardly believe it when the bus finally stopped in the city. He had never seen so many buildings, cars, and people all at once. The city was loud and fast. People hurried down the sidewalks. Cars honked their horns. And everything seemed to be moving at a pace he had never experienced before. He stepped off the bus, feeling a little lost. He pulled out the map Anna had sent him and tried to find the street where her apartment was. It took him a while to figure it out, but he eventually found his way. The streets were full of people, and Ben had to weave through the crowd, trying to stay on track. By the time he reached Anna's apartment, Ben was tired but excited. He knocked on the door, his heart racing. When Anna opened it, she looked surprised, but pleased to see him. "Ben, you came," she said, giving him a big hug. Anna led him into the apartment, where she made him feel comfortable and welcomed. Anna's apartment was small but cozy. There was a little kitchen, a living area with a couch, and a small table where they sat together to talk. Ben noticed how different everything was. The city seemed so busy, and the apartment was far from the quiet, simple life he knew in Riverfield. "Come, I'll show you around the city," Anna said, after they had chatted for a while. Ben followed her through the crowded streets, marveling at the tall buildings and the constant noise. It was a world unlike anything he had ever known. Anna took him to the restaurant where she worked. It was a busy place, with people talking and laughing, waiters moving quickly between tables. Ben watched his sister as she worked, taking orders and serving food with ease. He was proud of her, but he could also see how much effort it took to keep everything running smoothly. As they walked around the city, Ben noticed all the shops and the lights that made the streets glow at night. There were so many things to see, so many people to meet. Anna showed him where she shopped for groceries, where she took her breaks. and even some of the places she liked to relax in the evenings. As much as Ben was amazed by the city, he began to feel torn. He liked being with Anna, but he missed Riverfield. The city was exciting, but it was also overwhelming. He missed the simple life on the farm, the quiet mornings, the work he loved to do, and the fresh air. "Anna," Ben said one evening as they sat together, "I'm not sure what to do. I miss the farm. I miss everything I've worked for there." Anna listened carefully. "I understand," she said softly. "The city isn't for everyone. It's full of opportunities, but it can be hard too. You don't have to change your life completely to find something better. Maybe there's something you can bring back with you. You could improve the farm, make it better." Ben thought about her words. Maybe she was right. He didn't have to leave the farm to find a better life. He could learn new ways to make his farm more successful, just like Anna had learned how to make it in the city. The next morning, Ben woke up early. He had trouble sleeping the night before, his mind filled with thoughts of the farm. He stared out the window at the busy street, watching people rush past. The city was a place full of life and noise, but it felt so different from the peaceful silence of Riverfield. Anna was already up, busy in the kitchen, making breakfast. When she saw Ben, she smiled and offered him a warm plate of food. "How did you sleep?" she asked, sitting across from him. "Not well," Ben admitted, taking a bite. "I keep thinking about the farm. I miss it. I miss the land, the animals, the quiet." Anna looked at him with understanding. "I know it's hard. The city can be exciting, but it's not for everyone. You've always worked the land, Ben. You have a gift with it." Ben nodded. He had always felt at home in Riverfield. The farm was his place. The thought of leaving it behind, even for a life that seemed full of more opportunities, made him feel unsettled. After breakfast, they went for a walk in the park. The sun was shining, and people were walking their dogs, playing and enjoying the day. But Ben couldn't help but think about his family back home. Jenny, the kids, the fields. He missed the smell of fresh soil, the sound of the wind blowing through the trees. He missed the simple life. As they walked, Anna talked about her work and how she had come to the city to build a new life. She told Ben how much she had learned, how different it was from life back in Riverfield. She explained how important it was to keep an open mind, to keep learning, and to not be afraid of change. But she also acknowledged that some people, like Ben, found peace in simpler things. "I know you're happy in Riverfield," Anna said, as they stopped by a fountain. "But you could take some of the city's lessons with you. You don't have to stay here to be successful. You can go back, make your farm even better, and maybe make things easier for your family. Ben thought about this for a while. The city was full of possibilities, but his heart belonged to the farm. He could bring something back from this trip, something to help him improve the farm. He didn't need to leave everything behind. He smiled at Anna. "I think you're right," he said. "I'll go back and make the farm better. I'll learn new things, try new crops, maybe use better tools. But Riverfield will always be home." Ben packed his things and said his goodbyes to Anna. The journey back to Riverfield was quiet. The city had been an eye-opening experience, but Ben knew in his heart that the farm was where he belonged. He had a new sense of purpose, and he couldn't wait to share his ideas with Jenny. When Ben arrived back at the farm, Jenny was waiting for him. She smiled and hugged him tightly. "You're back," she said. "How was the city?" Ben took a deep breath and looked around the farm. The fields were peaceful, the air fresh, and the sound of birds singing filled the air. He smiled. "It was overwhelming, but I'm glad I went. I've learned a lot. I want to make our farm even better." Over the next few weeks, Ben worked hard to put his plans into action. He started by researching new crops that might grow well in Riverfield's soil. He ordered better tools, ones that would make the work easier and more efficient. Ben even began to learn a little reading and writing with Jenny's help, so he could understand instructions and communicate better with others. Jenny was supportive, and together they made a lot of improvements to the farm. They planted new seeds, tested new farming techniques, and worked harder than ever to make their land thrive. Ben felt a new energy coursing through him, and his heart felt full. He knew it would take time, but he believed they could turn the farm into something even better than before. Months went by, and Ben's life slowly began to change. The farm was doing better than ever. The new crops were growing well, and the animals were healthier. Ben was becoming more skilled with the tools and techniques he had learned from the city. He was even reading simple books to learn more about farming. One day, Ben received another letter from Anna. He had missed hearing from her, and he was excited to read it. Jenny helped him open the letter, and Ben listened carefully as she read aloud. Anna was doing well in the city. She was still working at the restaurant and was saving up to visit Riverfield. She wrote that she was proud of Ben for going back to the farm and making it better. Anna also mentioned that she had made some new friends in the city and had learned a lot about different cultures and ways of life. But most importantly, she said she was coming to visit. Ben smiled when he heard this. He was happy to hear that Anna was doing well, and he couldn't wait to see her again. The city had been a big part of her life, but she had always been there for him. And now she was coming back to Riverfield. A few weeks later, Anna arrived in Riverfield. Ben and Jenny were waiting for her at the bus stop, and when they saw her step off the bus, they rushed to greet her. "Anna," Ben called out, his arms open wide. Anna laughed and ran toward him, giving him a big hug. "It's good to be back," she said. They walked back to the farm together, catching up on everything. Anna admired the improvements Ben had made, and she was happy to see how much better the farm was doing. Jenny and Anna spent the day talking and sharing stories, while Ben worked in the fields. That evening, they sat around the dinner table, enjoying a meal that Jenny had prepared. The conversation was light and full of laughter. Ben looked at Anna and realized how much he had missed her. She had always been there for him, even when they were far apart. As the night grew late, Ben realized that although he had learned so much from the city, Riverfield was where he truly belonged. It wasn't about being rich or successful in the city. It was about working hard, loving your family, and finding peace in the life you've made. Ben had learned valuable lessons during his trip to the city. He had seen a world full of opportunities, but he knew that his true happiness was in Riverfield. He had used what he learned to improve his farm and make life better for his family. With Anna's visit, Ben realized that life didn't have to be about big changes. It was about making the most of what you had and always striving to grow, both in work and in life. He was content with his life in Riverfield, and with the love and support of his family, he knew that no matter where life took him, he would always find his way home